Hey guys, it's Platinum Warp Star, and I'm gonna go ahead and give my thoughts on what I think of Team Sonic Racing, just from what we've seen so far. Now, before I get into this, I just want to say everyone is entitled to their own opinion. If you like something and I don't, that is perfectly normal. And if you dislike something that I like, that's also perfectly normal. We can go on and be happy the way we both think. So it's not my fault if somehow like my opinions somehow are able to offend you on this game. Well, I'm sorry, that's not my problem. But uh, you have the right to think a game looks good. I have the right to think a game looks bad. So reason why I'm mentioning this is because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. From what I've seen so far of Team Sonic Racing, I'm really not liking what I mean, I'm just really not impressed with it. You're seeing a transformed gameplay on screen right now. This isn't what Team Sonic Racing gameplay is. But I have some pros and cons I listed for Team Sonic Racing. Because there are some things that I like about it, but there are a lot of other things that I really get me worried, make me think this game is not going to be good. Now, don't get me wrong, I really hope I'm proved wrong. I want Team Sonic Racing to be a good game. I think Sonic and All Stars Racing and Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed are both two really good racing games, so I'm hoping Team Sonic Racing is the same, but let's get into why I'm kind of thinking otherwise right now. So, I'll start with the pros. So, I've heard people say, and from what I've seen, it seems to control well. Like, it seems to play well. The controls look like they're from Transform. They look like they've been ripped over. And Transform had some pretty decent kart controls. So, it's pretty nice that we get to see that ported over. I think it'll drive nicely. I think the items would be pretty balanced. The gameplay itself would be fine, maybe. But, and then the music from the trailer we've seen, there's like a new Crush 40 theme, and it actually sounds pretty cool. So, that's interesting. And I also like the CGI trailer because the CGI, like the animation, the CGI was really good looking. So there's that, but they didn't really show much gameplay in their trailers. But I'll be honest, that's kind of my only pros from what we've seen so far. I mean, let's get into what I'm thinking that's on my mind next. So now it's time for me to get into my cons. Now, this is a weird first con to start with, but personally, from what we've seen, by the way, this could all change. So, maybe next trailer it comes out, maybe I'll suddenly think, oh, this looks really good. I changed my mind. But as of right now, the graphics for an 8th generation racing game, in my opinion, we've only seen one track of it, but they honestly don't look too good. Like, I mean, maybe the shading is fine, and for some reason, the frame rate, or from what I've seen, the frame rate looks like it's an unlocked frame rate on PS4 and Xbox One, which is really weird because it seems like, the game should be able to run at a flawless 60 frames per second on those consoles. And in my honest opinion, I think Team Racing graphically looks worse than Transformed, and it's just like the effects really don't look that good in my opinion, and the environment, there's a lot of stuff going on, but like in Planet Wisp, the stage we were shown, but it just looks really uninteresting and bland in my opinion. And some effects, like the fire trail when you like boost or something, it just looks so not good in my opinion. These are like little nitpicks though. I am kind of nitpicking. It's just the graphics I'm thinking about right now. But trust me, I have more complaints than just that. So we've heard that there are apparently 15 characters to this roster, which is already way less than Transformed. I mean, I think we started off with 15 in Transformed. I really hope that they're like unlockable characters in Team Racing, because you know, we had unlockables in Transformed, and we also had unlockables in All Stars Racing, but it just, I don't know, 15 characters is a pretty small roster, even if it's like a Sonic roster. There's so many Sonic characters. I can think of like 10 more characters than the ones that we don't know all the characters, by the way, but I bet I could list more than 15 Sonic the Hedgehog characters. And just for 8th generation racing game like this, it just seems off to have a smaller roster like that. It's I hope I'm wrong, though. I hope there are lots of unlockable characters. And another thing, this could be something you could turn off, but the characters shout out voices and one-liners, and they're super annoying in my opinion. Like, they just if there's no option to turn that off, then I'm gonna have to play with the volume off, because goodness, it was so, that was one thing so many people noticed when watching like the early gameplay, is like there were so many one-liners that the characters would just spit out every 5 seconds, and it was really obnoxious. And I really hope I don't have to hear them when I'm racing through Planet Wisp or Rooftop Run. And yeah, and when it comes to the game itself, honestly, the track they showed, which is Wisp Circuit or something like that, it looks really bland in my opinion. Around the beginning, there are 3 split pathways, but it's just that those pathways don't seem very interesting. It looks like there seems to be one shortcut, maybe 2 shortcuts in the level, but it's just looks really bland. It's like we don't really see any stage hazards in this stage. It's like it looks really uninteresting. It just looks so flat, and there's like anti-gravity though. I guess that's kind of cool, but it's just the track is a bit too wide and open. And well, this track you're seeing right here is a bit wide and open, but it's different. It looked visually, this track right here looked visually stunning. It's like there were airplanes everywhere, like stuff was happening to the level in Transform, and it doesn't seem to be that way in Team Racing, because we've only seen, like I said, we've only seen one track. But I'll be honest with you, that's kind of the problem. I'm gonna start assuming things when we only see one out of how many tracks are there gonna be? Like 16, 20, I don't know. It's like, usually, they took the Wisp Circuit course to E3, and I'm gonna be honest, that course really doesn't look that interesting to me. It just looks like an arena where you just kind of, it's just sort of a too wide of a course with nothing really happening in it, and I don't really like that personally. And what I do like is that the Transform like gameplay is back. I mentioned that before, but here's the thing. You know those car transformations from Transform made the stages really cool? Yeah, they're gone. From what I've heard, they're gone in Team Racing. I think I even heard somewhere that they said the transformations are gone, and I'm like, man, that was so cool in Transformed. I mean, sure, it was probably like a one-game gimmick, I guess, they were planning, but I don't know, that's gonna make a bunch of the stages a heck ton less interesting, if you ask me. And yeah, it's basically, I don't really have much to say on this. It just, I'm not impressed. They're not really showing us anything, and when they barely show anything, they barely showed us anything of Sonic Forces, and they said, you know, we're not trying to spoil everything, and I mean, sure, that makes sense, but it turns out that game was already as short as it was, and we've only seen one track taken to E3 for, team racing. I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't look very promising to me. It looks very bland. I'm sure the team racing mechanic will be pretty interesting. The main thing I'm hoping for is that the tracks are good. We've only seen one, but usually when you go to E3, you probably take one of the most interesting of levels with you to E3. What was a great idea, super interesting, and I don't know if Wisp Circuit is the best they've got. I don't know. I'm really not interested. I want to be optimistic. It's just that it looks really bland and not that fun. Transform was fun. It just doesn't look as fun. Now, it's just me. That's just me from watching gameplay we've seen. Who knows? When I get the final game, who knows? It could be a blast. It could be super fun. And I hope it turns out that way. I really hope Team Racing is a really good racing game. A really good Sonic racing game. But from what I've seen, I'm not convinced. It's not looking very promising to me. The graphics look pretty bland. The track itself seems to be pretty bland. With nothing really going on. And I hope the tracks are better by time release. And you know what? Just to be safe, I could honestly be hoping that they delay this game. I would be happy if they delayed Team Sonic Racing. Why? Because that means it's going to get a chance to be a better game. Because it's not really doing much for me right now. It just looks so... I've said this 100 times. It looks so bland and uninteresting. The track Wisp Circuit looks really uninteresting. Rooftop Run seems like it would be a cool concept. I just hope that turns out well. I need to see more of Team Sonic Racing in order for me to be convinced even more. Because I'm not really convinced right now. It's just what they've showed us is not much. And I'm a little worried that they aren't showing us much in the first place. Because the game releases in 6 months? That's really not a long time from now. So, when we're seeing this little, it gets me worried. And it makes me think that this game's not going to be good. Now, it was made by Sumo Digital. They made All-Stars Racing and All-Stars Racing Transform. But to me, that doesn't automatically make a game look good to me. So, those are my thoughts. I'm very, very cautious about this one. I'm not saying I'm going to hate it. I don't really hate it right now. I'm just not really convinced. It doesn't look very good in my opinion. Transform looks like it had really cool and interesting tracks. Lots of stuff was happening, dragons were breaking bridges, and there were bombs everywhere. It was like a volcano stage. Lava spews out all over the racetrack everywhere. I don't know, it just doesn't look like that will be the case for Team Sonic Racing. I need to see more. If I don't see more, then I don't think this is... I'm just going to be dreading the release of this game. That's kind of just how it is for me. They showed so much of Smash Ultimate, but they showed very little of Team Sonic Racing, a game that's releasing around the same time period. So, yeah, those are my honest thoughts. I don't think Team Sonic Racing looks very good. I'm hoping it will be good, and maybe it will be good, but it's not looking good from what I've seen, and I want to be proved wrong. So let me know what you think. If you think it looks good, props to you. I'm very glad that you think it looks great. I just don't see it. I personally do not see the wonders and excitement of Team Sonic Racing right now. I can't see it. I can understand if you're excited. I don't really see it. I'm just very cautious with this one. So, If it's okay to agree or disagree with me, let me know if that's the case with you in the comments. I'm not really optimistic about this game, but I want to be. Optimistic. I can be excited for its release. But after Forces, even though this wasn't made by the same team who made Forces, it's Sega, but after Forces, which honestly wasn't that good of a game, in my opinion, I'm very cautious with Sonic games nowadays. Unless if it's by Christian Whitehead, then we know that it's going to be good. So, yeah. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you think. I would be glad to have a conversation about Team Sonic Racing. Have a little, what you think, agreements and disagreements. I want to know what you guys think. If you think it looks good, good. Think it looks bad, that's okay. I just hope this is polished by the time of release. But anyway, I'm rambling here. So, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.